Title: The Search Party, a Skinwalker Encounter. Told from the perspective of Officer James Nez. Before I tell you what happened, I want you to understand something. Tommy Yazzie wasn't just some missing kid. He was our kid. A sharp, wide-eyed boy with a smile that could melt stone. The kind of kid that had that quiet magic about him. He'd run up to the old women selling fry bread at the flea market and help them carry their boxes without being asked. He'd chase dragonflies near the irrigation ditch like they were gold. And if he caught one, he'd whisper to it and let it go. He lived out near Ganado with his mother, Jolene. Good woman, hard-working. She worked night shifts at the clinic in Window Rock, but she never let those hours get between her and that boy. Every Friday, she made his favorite, Spam with green chili and fry bread. And every Sunday, they sat under the old juniper and watched the sky change colors like it was their own private movie. Tommy had this old dog named Scout, mixed breed, mostly mutt, but loyal like nothing I've ever seen. Always by his side, even slept under his bed. That dog never left him, not once, which made what happened even harder to swallow. The call came in early, about 6 a.m. Saturday morning. I was 2 cups into my coffee when the dispatcher patched in Ben Yazzie, Tommy's uncle. His voice was trembling. Said Tommy had gone missing during a camping trip out by Black Mesa. Said they were roasting hot dogs around the fire when the boy got up. Said he saw Scout run off. He followed him toward the brush. They figured he'd be right back. But 5 minutes turned to 10 to 30. They searched with flashlights until midnight, calling his name again and again. Nothing. But then, right before dawn, Scout came back, alone, covered in blood. Ben swore it wasn't his nephew's blood, but how could he know? I grabbed my gear and met up with Officer Carla Begay. She was a solid partner, smart, grounded, knew the traditional ways better than most of us. When we arrived at the trailhead, the sky was already burning pink across the mesa. We were joined by 2 local volunteers and Tommy's grandfather, Charlie Yazzie, an elder, soft-spoken, but sharp as ever. He used to be one of the best trackers in the region. Charlie didn't say much at first, just looked at the dog, rubbed some ashes on his hands, and stared out into the red rock country like it was whispering something only he could hear. We started the search just past 7 a.m. There were 6 of us total, fanning out in a grid. The terrain wasn't easy. The land out there is sacred. Winding sandstone walls, dry washes, caves half swallowed by brush. It's beautiful, but it hides things that don't always want to be found. We followed the boys' prints for about an hour, barefoot, light. They led to a narrow ravine about 30 yards from their camp, and then, nothing. The tracks just stopped. No sign of a fall, no drag marks, just ended. Like he was picked up by the wind. Charlie got real still. He knelt, touched the earth, whispered a prayer in Diné. Then he looked up at me and said something I'll never forget. "We're not the only ones out here." Carla lit some cedar and offered a protection blessing. The air felt heavier after that, like something old had been disturbed. By noon, we hadn't found a single trace. No clothes, no voice, not even a broken twig. That's when we heard it for the first time. A voice, high and clear, a child's voice calling, "Uncle Ben, I'm here." We all froze. It was coming from the west side of the canyon, exactly where we had just searched. I yelled for everyone to stay together, and we sprinted toward the sound. When we got there, nothing. No boy, no footprints, just a dead rabbit lying on a rock. Its neck snapped, eyes wide open. Charlie didn't even look at it. He just said, "That wasn't Tommy." We made camp near the old sheep corral, just as the sun dipped behind the buttes. We took turns on watch. I took second shift. About an hour in, I heard something rustling near the edge of camp. I stood up quietly, thinking maybe it was a coyote, but then I heard it again. "Uncle Ben, I'm cold." The voice was right behind me. I turned around fast, my flashlight scanning the dark. There was nothing there, just the wind scraping through the sagebrush. Then I saw Carla standing at the edge of the firelight, her face pale. She looked at me and whispered, "Don't answer it." She said her grandmother used to warn her, "If you hear your name called at night, don't answer. Not unless you're sure who's calling, because it might not be them." The next morning, one of the volunteers, Danny Whitehorse, was gone. Just gone. No sign of struggle. His boots were still there, placed neatly beside the fire, like he took them off before bed. But his pack, his flashlight, gone. We searched, screamed his name until our throats hurt. Then we heard something moving in the ravine below us. We climbed down, hoping it was him. What we found instead was worse. A figure stood in the shadows, facing away from us, naked, pale, dirty. At first, I thought it was Danny, until the thing turned around. Its head twisted too far, like a broken owl. Its eyes were wrong, like glass marbles soaked in ink. And then it spoke. In my voice, "Officer Nez, help me." We ran, didn't even look back. Charlie threw pollen and chanted the old prayers the whole way. I swear the shadows behind us moved with arms and legs. We didn't stop until we saw our trucks on the horizon. Charlie passed away a few months later. Heart attack, they said. Carla transferred to Albuquerque. She doesn't talk to anyone from the department anymore. As for Tommy Yazzie, his body was never found. No bones, no clothes, just whispers. And that dog, Scout, he never left Jolene's front porch again, just sits there some nights and howls into the wind. Me? Sometimes I drive past Black Mesa just to remind myself it was real. And if I turn the radio off, sometimes, just sometimes, I hear a child's voice carried on the wind. "Uncle Ben, I'm here." But I don't answer. Not anymore. Thank you for watching Cryptid Encounter Stories. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more terrifying tales of the unknown. Your support helps keep the stories alive and the monsters lurking. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and always keep an eye on the shadows.